congratulations. Feeling very happy for your achievement. Manpreet with us, daughter of a farmer who is raised to be an officer now, civil servant. So cleared UPSC with law optional. So today we are going to ask a lot of honest questions to her. Whatever the aspirants ask me, I'm going to put forward to her and she's going to give us the answer. So welcome, Manpreet.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. So the first time when you saw the result, how was your reaction? What the first thought you got?
Ma'am, first was the relief that my hard work is finally giving the results. Like I was quite happy that finally my student life has ended and finally I can join the service, which I aspired to.
Nice. That happiness, that sense of see, hard work never fails. That was
Yes,
done,
ma'am.
right? Exactly. Nice. So next thing is like, what course did you subscribe in Law Experts?
Ma'am, I have subscribed the law test series twice. Before
Test.
last, yes, ma'am, test series, full length test, sectional test also, and subject wise test.
Okay, so all these things you do. Okay, fine. Next, like, see, did you ever feel that UPSC is not for me? Some lowest point, everybody will have that, right? Even AR1 and everyone will have that. So did you feel that anytime?
Yes, ma'am. Like when I was giving mock test before the mains itself, when some at some point when I was not scoring that much good in few of the mock test, I thought maybe this time I won't be able to clear. And so that was a lowest point, but I continued somehow.
How did you recover from that lowest point? What made you to come back?
Ma'am, because there are mock tests when you don't perform well, but I went next day also and write another mock test. So that made me recover that it is normal. You just need to write test. That is just the improvement. There is a lot of scope of improvement that made me recover from that thing.
All right, all right. So what was your strategy after prelims till mains? What you did in that gap?
Ma'am, so I have divided 1 month I completely kept it for law optional and another month for GS. And last month I had kept like if there are 20 days, so 10 days I'll do law and 10 days I'll do GS. So I give equal time to both.
Okay, law optional and GS were equally important to you, and you did both. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
done. So, like mock test, whether people say that we have to read first, finish the syllabus, and then start the mock test. So, when is the right time to start the mock test for UPSC law optional?
Ma'am, I think once you have covered the syllabus and you're thoroughly gone through the topics, like for example, constitution law and international, everything, if you have covered once, then you can see the previous year questions. Because in law optional, you need to write in a certain way. There need to be very brief and concise things, and you need to write everything. You cannot skip main case laws, you cannot skip the sections. So I think once you have covered the syllabus, then you should go for the test. Only then you will realize like I'm missing some aspects.
Okay, is it that we have to complete the entire syllabus and then start the test? Or like we finish 3 to 4 topics and then we start write the test? Which one would be better?
Ma'am, I have covered the entire syllabus once because there is some mental relief also. Like I have covered the syllabus. Now I can relax and I can revise and give the test.
Ah, that mental set, right? See, I have completed something. So that
Yes,
satisfaction.
ma'am.
Very
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
Awesome. Okay, then which is more important, whether hard work or strategy or guidance? Which one is more important for UPSC preparation?
Ma'am, all three I feel because if you don't have proper guidance, so there is a lot of things. So you end up doing wrong things. You end up putting your efforts in wrong direction. I think if there is somebody to guide you that you need to do this thing, so that hard works pay well. So I think you need a guidance, then you make your own strategy and stick to it and work hard.
Very nice. We have to combine everything together to work in the
Yes.
right direction. Exactly. Then you were talking about the case loss. So how much case loss did you write in your paper? Like for this 10-mark question, how many case loss should I write? Something like
Ma'am, I used to divide, for example, if they're asking some definition. So there are many aspects of the definition. So I used to give case law for each aspect. And I remember calling you also, like I'm unable to recall the case law. So I recorded the cases. like you suggested also. So I used to record cases in my own voice and I used to listen to them repeatedly. So that helped me a lot. I was able to recall all the case laws to be honest in the paper.
Excellent. I suggested the method that I used for my daughter. My daughter actually, she holds a Guinness record for vocabulary. Okay. So she's just my like first standard, 5 year old. What I did, I recorded everything and made her listen. So immediately
Yes,
when you
ma'am.
asked, I thought, yes, that would be the good method to do. So that worked. I'm so glad about it. Okay. So is it that if it is a 15 marker question, I have to write umpteen number of case laws? Is it that any like number of case laws that specifically we have to do for that?
No, ma'am, I didn't follow you need to write 4 or 5 cases. Rather, but you need to cover the important cases. If there is culpable homicide and murder, which was also a question, so you need to cover major cases. You cannot skip those many cases. But then counting the number of cases, I don't think that help. But write major cases and important ones, I feel.
Excellent. So many ask me, I'm writing a case law. Should I write only the cause title of the case law and what is heading? Or should I write the facts as well? So how did you approach this?
Ma'am, initially in my test also, I used to just mention the case and just very brief principle, but that don't help because sometimes the cases need some facts also. So that I improved in my later test also, and I wrote same in mains also. So you need to give some level of facts also so that it is easy to relate to the principle you are trying to give the case law for. So I think some level, some one line for the facts, and then you write the principle.
Excellent. Okay, done. So when you are preparing for UPSC law optional, tell me one mistake that every must avoid.
Ma'am, I think you need to do a lot of reading and then you filling up the pages. That is a mistake because here in law it is very the every word counts in law optional. So you get marked for every word. You cannot write XYZ. You cannot bluff in the paper. So I think that is a mistake. If we think that we need to fill the 3 pages, that is not the target. You need to write important principle. Write important cases, and then you will get marks.
Yeah, I say every centimeter in UPSC paper is mark.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am. In law optional especially.
exactly. Okay. Mains is the main point of clearing mains is that how do you stand apart from others, right? So
Yes,
what
ma'am.
you did in your paper to stand apart from the common crowd?
Ma'am, my answers were really systematic. There was proper introduction, there was proper conclusion. I used to write section for every aspect wherever I can write. And then after section, I used to explain it, and then I used to break it into the parts. Any principle you need to break down, and then after breaking down parts, also I either write a case law or write an example. So it was very systematic. I feel that fetched me marks.
Excellent. So when we were talking about criminal law, now we got the bonus new criminal laws as well. So
Yes,
did you
ma'am.
quote both the sections?
Yes, ma'am. In some of it, I did because I was able to recall both of them. So I used to write in bracket that this was in IPC, and then later it is in BNS, this section. So I used to wherever I can.
Okay, fine. Then this daily habits are very important for anybody. That too for a UPSC aspirant to clear. What was your daily routine during the peak preparation phase?
Ma'am, I used to wake up around 6 and start studying around 7, and then before mains it could go around 11 also, 12 also. I was on table only, just stand up for eating or yeah. So I used to study entire day before mains and before prelims for one entire year. I used to try to study for 12 hours, but it could go around 10 or 12. But yeah, that was my target so that I can cover all the topics of that day.
Excellent. So it's like you completed optional first, then took the prelims, then GS, or you did everything simultaneously. How was your strategy?
No, ma'am. In my case, after my first prelims, because in first attempt I couldn't complete the syllabus. So after my first prelims, I had around 7, 8 months. till December. So initially 4 months I gave to GS, and then October, November, December I gave to optional entirely. And then in January I started for the prelims. So I try to give equal importance to the optional also.
Great, excellent. And you're from a legal background, right? So
Yes,
how
ma'am.
did it help you in GS, essay, interview stages?
It did help, ma'am. In the GS2, you can always cite the case law. We know a lot of cases. So I used to cite them in also the principle, or there is some doctrine of proportionality. These things do help in GS2. And in some aspect, for example, environment, disaster
Hmm.
management, that also you can
Hmm.
use our law. Then in ethics also sometime. I used to cite the constitution in ethics. Rather, I think my law optional helped me to score 130 in ethics. I feel, but I don't know whether that is, but I also think that because in mocks I don't used to get that much marks, but in final paper I got 130 in ethics, and I have cited constitution and some laws here and there in wherever I could. So in essay also, ma'am, because law is such a evolving concept. When you know the law, you can cite the history of the law. When you're opening up any aspect of the essay, I think you can always cite the law.
Excellent. This is like, see, you have something very strong. Why don't we make use of it to the
Yes,
100%? That
yes,
is a
ma'am,
good
exactly.
presence of mind, very good presence of mind. Okay. Now, see, when we are talking about UPSC law optional, many people say that it is not a scoring subject. It is a vast syllabus. How do you see that?
Ma'am, scoring, I think because if we compare to other optional, so comparatively we need to write very concise. We need to cover a lot of things. That's why we somehow feel that others are doing less syllabus and we are doing a lot more. Still, we are not getting that much score. Even I felt at some point of time. But if you have covered law thoroughly, so it is like some static subject. It is more like if you write, you will get marks. There is less, comparatively less subjectivity, so that is a plus point for the law because it is an objective subject. If you write, you will get marks. So I think that is really a good advantage compared to option like sociology, because there is subjectivity involved. In our optional, if we write constitution, if we write provisions, we know we'll get marks.
Nice, nice. So the thing is, like, our syllabus may look vast, but due to the
Yes, ma'am.
repetition point of view, we can narrow it down a bit precisely, actually. Right?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah, were there any questions regarding from law in interview?
Ma'am, yes, there was a question on self-defense. Like whether
Oh,
you, yes, ma'am, whether you can kill the person. So I explained that it should be proportional. You cannot directly kill the person, only if the other person is also trying to harm you or trying to murder you, only then you can shoot the person, or that aspect we discussed in interview.
yeah, nice. So your law optional in your interview, how much it helped actually? Did it help?
Yes, ma'am, it did help. There was also question on the. I involved Article 21 in one of my answer. There was a question on whether the burden of like judiciary is overburdened. Do we need to reduce the weeks which are off for High Court and Supreme Court judges? So I cited Article 21 there that there is right to life and dignity. So productivity reduce if we keep them increasing the burden of the work. So I used law in interview also.
Nice, nice. So when we are talking about any preparation, we need notes. So how did you prepare your notes for UPSC law optional?
Ma'am, I firstly read the standard books, and
Good.
then after giving test, I used to add in my notes because in test you realize that there are some major cases which even after reading the book, sometimes we miss that cases. So whatever I used to get the feedback that you need to write that particular case, I used to add. So that thing I keep on improving in my notes, and basic notes were from the basic books.
Okay, nice. So how did your family support and influence your journey? That's very important. We have to know.
Yes, ma'am. My family was quite supportive since beginning, since I started law also. So they have supported me. And in UPSC also, they kind of told me like whatever you want to do, we are there for you. So I was supported emotionally, financially. So I didn't feel alone, which I think many of the aspirants feel that loneliness. So I didn't face that because I could call my parents anytime and they used to understand. I used to talk even for the law optional also. I used to talk that I'm unable to recall the cases right now. So they were quite supportive in that aspect.
Excellent. How do they feel now?
They're quite happy because my dream is to become IPS officer. And rather, my first preference was also IPS officer. So finally, I'm getting that. So they're really happy.
Even I feel happy. So your mother or father must be like very happy. Right, exactly. So, like, see, if you are like the first time you're preparing for UPSC, imagine how do you start it? What advice you give to a person, a fresher starting UPSC?
Firstly, ma'am, you need to strategize really well because you have 1 year. You need to divide it into portion. You cannot leave the optional like I'll do optional after prelims. That is not possible. And also GS also, you need to cover it before prelims itself and then stick to the basic material because I was able to clear with basic material. I used to do NCRT only. I never referred to some high level books. That is not helpful in paper because it's just general studies paper. In optional also, for one topic you just rely on one material and then you write test. I think that is sufficient. Have one material for one topic and then you write the test and keep on improving because in test there is a lot of answers, there is a lot of feedback involved if you are going for test series by your institute. So you add those and then there is always scope of improvement.
Excellent. So you mentioned about the standard books for UPSC law optional. Can you give few of the standard books that you think are good?
Ma'am, for like in my college, I have studied MP Gen for the Constitution. So I did that only. And for international law, there is SK Kapoor, I think. Yeah, SK Kapoor. So I
Indian
read
version
that.
is better.
Yes, ma'am, I did that. And if some topics which is not in the books, you can always Google because in law we have facility of Google. And ma'am, one of my senior did from law experts notes also.
Oh,
So I went through her notes. I could sense that there are some cases which I can add. So I added those cases also from my seniors' notes. So these things only.
okay. So Constitution, you referred MP Jain. MP Jain is a wonderful book. Too much,
Yes,
so much of analysis. And but many say that is voluminous. So how did you manage that?
ma'am. I have already studied it in law in college. So I have highlighted the portions. For example, Article 14, there is this much portion in that book if we go fundamental rights only. But I was able to concisely know the demand of the questions because if we go through the previous year question in law, that is also advantage that questions repeat. So you need to do those topics very, I mean, prepare well those topics which repeat in paper. For example, if we see Article 25 or Article 24, that is not asked much. So you can do that briefly, but Article 14, 15, 21, so that I did little more. So in book also, you can always refine that what topics you need to pay more attention and others you can always refer to the notes.
Yeah, because even in law experts, we make notes only from standard books, that is MP Jain for Constitution. Because I know you told this much, right? Will be like a pillow. That book will be like a pillow. And you have very small words, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So I have already prepared the notes, else I would have referred to the material because my senior suggested me that rather than going through bulky books, you can refer to notes. These are same only. But since I have already done it, so I relied on notes.
Excellent, excellent. So, which subject in law optional was challenging for you?
For me, I think it was contract law because it is vast. It's quite
Oh,
vast and the wording. Initially, I used to write little. I mean, I used to fill the pages in contract law, but I need to concise a lot. You cannot write offeree, who was offered. So these things that was challenging for me. And there are many Sales of Goods Act, Partnership Act that is big. Partnership Act itself is quite big. So that was little challenging for me.
okay, excellent. So, for students preparing for UPSC law optional, what do you suggest them? How they should start and like where they must focus, whether it's test series or something, or notes they must have a handy notes or something, what it is.
If somebody has already notes from law time or from the college time, so they can rely on that because material is same. But if you are starting now, so I think rather than going for bulky books, you can always relying on the coaching center notes, like law experts notes itself. It is quite good notes because I have seen it. So if you are covering that, because there are sections, there are case laws which already is refined by the institute. So I think they can rely on that. But if there is some topic you need to understand, then you can open the standard book. If you want to little be more thorough of Article 21, then you can refer book. But material will help you to pass the test. I think so. Rather than going for this big book, you can rely on the test coaching center material.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, since you are talking about law experts notes, can I ask this question? How did law experts help you in this journey, in optional journey?
Yes, ma'am. It helped me a lot in test series and law optional. I remember I got just 60 marks in my first test. So I was quite disheartened, and I remember texting the institute that I am not getting marks where I'm lacking, because when I saw my answer, I thought it's fine. But I couldn't pinpoint like what I need to improve. And I also called you once, so you explained me how the words are very important in law. So I worked on that. And also in the feedback, they have mentioned that this particular case you need to write, and you need to explain also. For example, if there is Keshwananda Bharti case, you do not write the facts, but if there are some other cases, you write briefly about the facts also. So that thing helped me a lot, and my marks improved quite well. So that thing helped me, ma'am.
Excellent. I feel satisfied. Like, see, something we have to like do. Your words are our achievement. So I feel satisfied to do it. And one last thing, I want to congratulate IPS Manpreet. All the
Thank you so
best,
much.
IPS Manpreet. Thank you so much. Shall we wind
Thank
up?
you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Keep in touch always. Do your best. And I feel really, really happy for your parents because I have a small kid, right? Like a mother's point of view, I'm feeling very overwhelmed. So thank you so much. We'll wind up. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. And thanks. I want to thank all the institute for the help in law optional, because I used to get demotivated a lot after seeing my answers, and but that improved. That improved with the time with the help of the cases from the institute answers. So I really want to thank you and all the team for that.
Thank you so much. I'll convey this to the team. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye, ma'am.
Yeah. Shall we
Yes,
start?
ma'am.
So today we have